I'm just worried about going out there and playing hard and winning. And the only person I really want to pass is Tony Dorsett and be at the top. So until that happens, I'm just going to keep on going out there and plugging away.
Well, he needs to average, coming into this ball game, a little more than 140 yards a game, and he will eclipse Tony Dorsett's record.
Look at that yards per carry efficiency, almost a full yard per carry better than Tony Dorsett. Look at the rushes differential. I mean, that's what translates into yards per carry. And then rushing touchdowns, 11 more rushing touchdowns than Tony Dorsett on all that number of fewer carries. Ricky Williams has been productive, to say the very least.
And who would take 5.7 yards a carry?
Really?
20-yard line is where Oklahoma will have it. And speaking of Tony Dorsett, what does he think of Ricky Williams, the Heisman candidate in '98?
I had the opportunity to meet him at the Doak Walker Award last year. I was very impressed with him. So if anybody has a breaking record, you like for someone as quality as a human being as Ricky is.
And you know, Tony Dorsett's comment, another reason I like him to win the Heisman, when you have a guy that's a better person than he is even a great football player, it makes it all the much sweeter.
You bet. Damon Parker trying to cut it back to the 31-yard line. And that was all Damon Parker.
Yeah, we were talking in the open about the difference in running styles. Damon Parker won't necessarily run through tackles, but he will certainly bounce off them. And if you don't get your hands on him, at least grab cloth and wait for some help, or put both arms around him, get helmet across the bow. You can't arm tackle him. You can't reach out and try to grab him, or he'll bounce right off of you. He's talented himself.
Throw caught by Gerald Williams, and let's visit with Jim Knox. Jim?
All right, thanks, Drew. Chris Blocker of Oklahoma is going to be okay. Just got hit in the back hard. He will return to the playing field. Now I got to show you something there. Familiar face on the Longhorns sidelines. That is Cowboys defensive end Greg Ellis. Of course, Greg Ellis played 4 years for Mack Brown while he was at North Carolina. He has nothing but good things to say about his former coach of the Tar Heels.
Hard not to say good things about Mack Brown.
And Greg Ellis, one of the great defensive players of that awesome defensive unit the Tar Heels had last year.
Damon Parker on a delay. He'll have another first down out close to midfield. Oklahoma needs a string of big plays.
Oklahoma just absolutely obliterated an opportunity to get back into this football game. Opening kickoff of the second half, short field, fumble. Texas goes right back and goes the distance. But with a guy like Parker, 18 rushes of 30 or more yards, half of those occasions, he's taken it to the house. He's a big play waiting to happen. You can't take anything for granted.
Daniels throw, batted down. Getting in the passing lane.
Anderson, I believe. I think Anderson got his big muckers up there.
Yeah, Jermaine Anderson, you're right.
Let's take a look at what Oklahoma had to do to win this football game. Touchdowns, not field goals. Hasn't happened. Has not happened. They get a minus on that one. Sure tackling Ricky Williams, 96 yards after contact. Minus on that one. Keep him on the bench. Time of possession. Okay, they get a check right there. But overall, that's why they're losing this football game. They haven't successfully done their keys.
2nd and 10. Thornton runs right into Sean Rogers, and that's that on that play. 73, 6'4", 305.
Let's see what Texas' report card looks like with respect to the keys to winning this football game. Dominate the line of scrimmage both ways. I'd say they've done that. Protection, recognition, great numbers by Applewhite. I'd say they've done that fine. And they certainly have been patient with Ricky Williams. 2 rushes for loss, but 12 times Oklahoma contained him. On the 13th, Ricky Williams busted out. That's patience.
3rd and 9. They need the 43-yard line, and this one's blown dead.
The line judge threw that flag. He's talking to the official about a clock problem. All start. That's the right tackle. He's looking inside at the right tackle. Right tackle flinched before the start of the play. And that's a new right tackle in there. That's Pittman in there. Stalker McDougal came out after he brain cramped and jumped and then decided to turn into a little bit of a heavyweight, and I mean heavyweight boxing contender at about 300 and 3 1/4, depending on pregame meal.
At least. Now 3rd and 14 for Oklahoma. Daniels breaking down, and now he is dropped at the 30-yard line. Second sack of the day for Texas. Well, Rogers got there.
Excuse me, Drew. Texas has Oklahoma exactly where they want them. 3rd and a bunch. This is not familiar territory, so they start to twist and loop and stunt. Inside penetration, super loop. Here we go. The looper comes clean. He's coming around the horn. Sack City. It's tough for the offensive line to pick up all the stunting and twisting that's going on. You're on your heels, and Texas is just motoring to the quarterback.
Ferguson gets this one away. He turns it over. Hodges Mitchell over his shoulder at the 20-yard line. Great coverage by Oklahoma. An enormous punt of 55 yards and a short return for Mitchell.
Hodges Mitchell, sometimes it's the little things. That's a great play just to catch that punt and negate additional poor field position that his offensive team may have suffered. He made a tremendous effort by catching that over the shoulder like a wide receiver catching a touchdown pass. That's a nice job. The return's all gravy. That's bonus. Just catching that punt was nice.
Well, Hodges is the heir apparent to Ricky Williams. When he moves on to play on Sunday, number 3 will tote the football for Mack Brown next year.
Certainly a different style of runner.
Here is Williams. A flag is cut down.
That's coming back. Good holding.
But watch it, because it's always fun to see Ricky Williams, but it will come back.
Good holding on the backside. Now they're even. Oklahoma has had a rushing touchdown negated by hold. Now Texas has a rushing touchdown negated by a hold.
Hey, Dave, we've had the opportunity over the last 3 years to see a lot of Ricky Williams football games. Who does he remind you of?
Say that again, Drew.
Who does Ricky Williams remind you of?
He's kind of Jerome Bettis a little bit in the National Football League. The Pittsburgh Steelers great running back in that he can run you over or make you miss. On this play, guard pulls, fullback fills with him. The holding occurs on the inside. They call it takedown on the backside. Ricky Williams creases it, and he's off to the races. Now, we asked Coach Blake that very question, and his response was interesting. He said a shorter Marcus Dupree.
And Oklahoma and college football fans certainly remember Marcus Dupree, who was big and strong, and not for a knee injury, would have had a great career in the NFL. Slip screen to Ryan Nunez, and Ghana Joseph brings him down.
Now, I'm not, as far as Ricky Williams again, the comparison, the bus, in my mind, they list him at 255. He's 270. I mean, at some point in the season after Thanksgiving when he's had the full turkey, he's carrying about 270. Ricky Williams, not that size, but similar running style. Bettis with a good lean, doesn't give you a lot of surface contact, will run you over, he'll make you miss in the hole. Ricky can do all those things as well.
And Ricky can run past you.
Yep.
Applewhite down the middle, bad throw. I don't know if it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, but it wasn't close, and Applewhite hung in there and was dropped by Kelly Gregg.
That's the reason for the incompletion. In his throwing motion, he was struck. Kelly Gregg gets a quarterback hurry there. The incompletion basically is due to his effort. And Applewhite in the pocket. That's not that particular play. That was a different look by Major Applewhite, who in my mind has elevated himself to general because he is such a good field general today.
3rd and 14 with 4:11 to go in the 3rd quarter. Applewhite on the backside had it knocked down. Good defense by Oklahoma. And the Longhorns will have to punt.
Once once again, Kelly Gregg. He had a good series. He hit Applewhite to cause the one incompletion, then he batted the other pass down. So he gets 2 passes defense, in my mind, as a defensive lineman. Knocks one down and hits the quarterback in his throwing motion to make the other one look like a wounded duck.
Jarrell Jackson, he's dangerous, back at his own 36. Stockton will punt it. And Stockton does a good job. He keeps it away from Jackson, and it's out of bounds at the 34, a punt of 43, a net punt of 43. Big 12 fans, how would you like to win a trip to the Big 12 football championship game in St. Louis? It's easy. Just answer the Nations Bank Salute to Excellence question. This week's question: who holds the single season record in rushing yardage for Oklahoma? 4 great backs to choose from.
Oh, baby.
And if you know the answer, visit the Nations Bank website at nationsbank.com/sports. All correct entries will be entered into a drawing for a trip to see the Big 12 championship. Participants must be 18 years of age or older. And for the first time today, carrying the football, Jermaine Fazan. Patrick Fletcher is in at quarterback.
Look at the big cage on the face mask. Broken jaw. Recovering from that. He's got all kinds of extra protection to make sure that he doesn't suffer the same fate.
You know, Jermaine is a good football player, and he plays, you mentioned Bettis, he plays around 260. He's got a little wiggle, too. He can play some tailback. 2nd down and 5. Fletcher. Off his back foot, throws it up for grabs. It was nearly intercepted. Blocker was the intended target.
The reason Fletcher could not follow through on his mechanics was D.D. Lewis. Once again, the Longhorns stunting and twisting and blitzing up front. As Fletcher feels the pressure, he has to vacate the pocket, rolls to his left, and here comes D.D. Lewis making him throw off his back foot, can't transfer his weight, it's up for grabs, the old dip drill, just can't get it done. Jammer can't quite get there. Nice concentration and focus on the football. He touches it, can't get it the second time.
3rd down and 5. Blitz coming. And Jarrell Jackson and Patrick Fletcher on different pages.
Exactly, not even the same volume of the encyclopedia. What happens there is the receiver reads the coverage one way, the quarterback reads it another, and they're not even close.
Jeff Ferguson and punt formation. Hodges, Mitchell deep.
Ferguson to punt, Mitchell back deep again. And Ferguson uncorks another great punt. Mitchell, fair catch at the 21-yard line, a punt of 40. It's been a day of miscues for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, it really has. In the first, early in this football game, they took away the throwback screen. Jammer almost mistimes his jump, but stays airborne enough to intercept it. Inaccurate pitch. Parker can't dribble the ball back into his chest. Texas gets possession once again, and now quarterback center can't execute the simple exchange, and Hampton falls on a 3rd takeaway.
Well, they came into the game averaging 21 points, and they were 65th in total offense. And when you have the problems they've had today, you really make it difficult on a young offense. Not much doing for Ricky Williams on that carry. And if you think about it, Oklahoma defensively, for the most part, has done a good job on Williams.
Oh, they really have. The touchdown run that was just negated by the holding penalty would have made Ricky Williams' numbers look spectacular. But a guy like that, when you have a cannon like Ricky Williams, you keep putting the gunpowder in there and firing it, because you may contain him 10 times, and he'll crush you on the next one.
He has a 57-yard run today, non-scoring run, also a 20-yard touchdown run. Applewhite knocked down. Darrell Bright got his hands on that one. And a reminder reminder, Major Applewhite is not your 6'4", 6'5" quarterback. He's closer to 6 foot.
He is. He's not the biggest guy in the world, particularly when you have a guy like Leonard Davis up there in front of you. Leonard, 6'6", 350. Look at that man. You talk about eclipsing the sun. He's got about an 18 Triple E shoe. I'll tell you what, they don't get much bigger than Big Leonard. The field's tilting out there when he